The very first thing that we need to work on for your pelvic floor is posture. And I know you've heard me say this 100 times at least. So getting set up, we are going to put our feet under our hips. A lot of people stand with their feet together, which isn't a great position for balance or activating your glute meats. It also can be cause a little tension on the knees, which we do not want, and ankles. So we're gonna step out, okay, hip width apart, so we have a nice stack, ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders. Okay, from there, we're gonna think about externally rotating our feet out. So we're thinking about taking our feet and pulling them out this way, but without actually moving them. So we're just thinking about ripping the floor apart, which stabilizes your knees, so they're gonna externally rotate as well. Activate your quads, activate your glute meats. Okay, I did a glute workout today. I can feel them active already. Then we're gonna do that nice, okay, hips under your ribs, activating your core. We're also gonna go ahead and roll our shoulders up and then back down. Think about pulling, okay, your shoulders down with your hands. Sometimes I say walk like Jesus, but I just want that upper chest up. Okay, a nice proud chest. Everyone's proud to be working out, doing something for themselves, which is awesome. So now I am nice and straight, okay? If you feel like you do have a head forward lean, it is gonna be a homework for you, okay, to actually practice that motion. You wanna practice putting your head in that good position. Also, if you have a pelvic tilt, so you're like this, you also want to practice that motion of putting your hips under your ribs. And we're going to work on that with our breathing as well. Just to kind of show a difference, a lot of people typically don't activate their core, so they kind of stick with their belly a little bit. Okay, they might have a pelvic tilt as well, so now you're getting a lot of roundness in the stomach, and then we have a rounded shoulders. Okay, so a lot of people believe that when they may look in the mirror and stuff, that they do have a big tummy, but in reality, okay, we're just going to think tall, breathing everything up, hips under ribs. Okay, there we go. Okay, rip the floor apart. You're nice and stable, feeling strong. After that, you're gonna go right into your breathing. Now, if you're breathing and you feel like your shoulders are lifting, you're breathing with your upper ribs, the upper part of your lung. If you suffer from things like neck pain, if you've ever had any collarbone injuries where they're not straight anymore, those are all things, okay, that are going to affect your pelvic floor, affect your breathing. Statistically, if people don't breathe properly, they'll never be 100% healthy. So breathing and sleep are actually number one. Then we're going into nutrition. Then we work on exercise, okay? So just to go along with our breathing, we're going to start out standing, okay? You're going to put your hands on your sides, and I want you to think about coughing. Your body naturally moves those transverse abdominal muscles. Those are the ones that we want moving, pushing into our hands. So when you exhale, you want to get nice and wide, okay? Nice and square. Then you're going to exhale. Cinch your corset. So you're going to practice that for about a minute. Inhale. Get nice and wide. And then exhale. Cinch your corset. There's more to that too when you're doing pelvic floor workouts. So you're going to inhale. Fill your sides. Exhale. We are also going to think about lifting your pelvic floor at the same time. So again, and exhale. Lift your pelvic floor. The best way I can explain that is if you grab that straw I was using earlier and you're putting it in your urethra, vagina, or rectum, you're thinking about sucking something up. So it's a lift, okay? Not necessarily a contraction in this way. We want everything to come up this way. When we inhale, we're going to think about target breathing, relaxing your pelvic floor. Okay, so we're inhaling and then exhaling, drawing everything in and up. Okay, so that's what you'd be practicing for a minute. From there, we're going to move this down. Okay, and you're going to breathe exact same exercise. Okay, now you're going to be laying on your back, putting lots of weight in your upper back, core nice and tight. This time when you create space, it's across the floor this way. And then exhale. We have to work our pelvic floors in different positions because we move our bodies in different positions all day. I suggest when your alarm goes off in the morning, hit snooze and practice your breathing before you get out of bed. Okay, so after a minute of breathing that way, okay, we're gonna get you to sit down there. Sweetness, sit down. There you go. Okay, now you're gonna go into, excuse me, a child's pose. Okay, exact same thing. Inhale. Create space. You should even feel pressure in your lower back, a release in your lower back. And then exhale. Cinch. Good. I can even feel a little bit of cracking in there. Okay, I'm definitely a little tight. Okay, good. Over there. Okay, so you will have some release right away. Okay, after that, you're gonna go back onto your back and we're gonna go into, okay, this is what he wants. Okay, kind of a happy baby position. Okay, minus the dog. Some sweetness. Okay. And you can even go ahead and grab your big toes if you can. Oh my God, dog. Okay. Give me one. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're never gonna let me leave. Oh my God. I can't lay on the floor with him. Okay. So you can even grab your big toes like this. Inhale, create space. Exhale. Okay, you can also hold in your knees like this. Okay, now certainly, last but not least, the final breathing position is in a squat. So you do have the option to hold on to something to make sure you don't fall over, because you're going to be staying there for at least 30 seconds for the first one, and then we would work our way up. So you're going to set your feet out into like your squat position. Okay, so 2 foot widths away. Then you're going to sink your hips down into a squat. Okay, I like to press my elbows into my knees or grab my big toes, but this is the final breathing position. So this is a very vulnerable position for your pelvic floor. This is a toilet position if you're using like a squatty potty or a bench to take pressure off your pelvic floor. But in that position, everything is kind of just hanging out. So you do want to think about inhaling, send your pressure down, and then exhaling, lift. Okay. So you'll do the standing position, the lying on your back with knees bent, your happy baby position, your child's pose position, each for 1 minute. Take a little break in between. You will feel a difference if your pelvic floor is getting tired. So again, take a little break. And then the one that's in the squat position, the last one, only do that for about 20 to 30 seconds at first and work your way up. You can do everything twice if you like, or once, that's just fine. So the next portion of that is we're going to be working our Kegels in those different positions. So what I would like you to do is set a timer for about 1 minute. For the first minute, I want you to think about your breathing, but only activating your urethra. We don't want everything moving at once. If you're going to pee, you don't need your vaginal muscles and your other sphincteric muscles to be moving, okay? So you're gonna think so hard about only moving your urethra. So you're gonna inhale, exhale, think about starting the flow of urine and stopping the flow of urine. So for 1 minute, at your own pace, that's what you're thinking of. Take a little break. After that, you're going to go to a vaginal contraction. So same idea, inhale and exhale. Think about squeezing something. If you're in the privacy of your own home and you're doing it alone, okay, you can do digital insertion, finger insertion, just so you can feel what's happening inside. But just think about, this one is a squeeze. I am thinking about a squeeze this time instead of a lift. Okay, it's the best cue for most people. So you're gonna inhale and then exhale, squeeze, okay? After your 1 minute, we're going to rectum. So you're gonna be inhaling again, okay? Putting pressure into your lower back, down through your rectum as if you're having a bowel movement. Then you're gonna exhale, squeeze. Okay, open your muscles and exhale, lift, close them off. Now, that is a huge cue for when you actually have a bowel movement. That's the breathing you want to do. You'll do that breathing over and over again. If you don't feel like having your bowel movement after a couple minutes, it's time to get off the toilet, give yourself a break. So you only really want to be sitting down when you're actually ready to go. So you're going to do your Kegels, urethra, vagina, and rectum for a minute each. Take a little break in between, and then you're going to repeat that 2 more times. Your homework is to run through that at least once a day, twice if possible. So adding everything together, your breathing and your Kegels is super important. Okay. The next item that we did is work on controlling our hips. Okay, so we did that by working on the arch and flatten, which we've done already together. So weight into your upper back, palms facing up. Okay, feet just outside your hips, and look at that arch. Okay, so you're gonna inhale. Okay, create space, that arch, and then you're gonna exhale. Flatten. Okay, use your pelvis to come forward. So you're gonna inhale again, push your pelvis back. Look at that space in there, and then exhale. No more space. Okay, think about a vacuum is in your belly button and you're sucking out all your air. Okay, so the same thing, you're gonna set your timer again for about a minute. If you feel comfortable, you can do it on your knees as well, where you're inhaling. Okay, and then exhaling. Okay. Next option is a half kneel. And if it is too hard on your knees, again, you can go right into your stand. So creating your stable position that we did first. Inhaling, sending those hips way back, over exaggerated, and then exhale, tuck in. So again, homework will always be breathing. Homework will always be Kegels. Make sure, especially if you're hypertonic, that you're really taking the time to focus on the breathing. You should be focusing on creating that space, sending the air down instead of up here, causing tension in your neck, overdeveloping those traps, okay? If you are having difficulty breathing, I would also suggest grabbing a lacrosse ball and massaging under your collarbones, okay, just to get some release there as well. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me anytime.